Armed with 145 years of global dairy expertise, the management of Friesland Campina, led by Rolof Justin, discussed extensively with President Muhammad Buhari and the Minister of Agriculture, Audu Ogbe, on the challenges and prospects of dairy farming in Nigeria. This is in furtherance of the commitment by the federal government to diversify the nation's economy through agriculture. President Muhammad Buhari expressed worry over the losses continuously suffered by dairy farmers in Nigeria due to poor means of preserving and processing their products and solicited the support of Friesland Campina through effective dairy development program.
The President told us that he is very much committed in order to set up dairy farming in Nigeria. He's looking for help in order to see how we could accelerate that, because he's very much concerned about the fact that milk is an important source in order to combat malnutrition. That should not be dependent on import only.
Both the chief executive officer of the company and its managing director in Nigeria described their interaction with President Muhammad Buhari as reassuring and promised effective collaboration and cooperation with the government towards bringing the goodness of dairy to Nigeria and Nigerians.
What struck me was that we had a very interesting interaction. So a lot of questions were being asked. So personal interaction of the honourable ministers and the president himself, in order to see how we could help, let's say, a dairy development program in Nigeria. Basically, it was about a commitment in order to see how we jointly could, unite and find a way in order to deal with the challenges here in Nigeria from a dairy farming perspective.
We've assured the President of our commitment. We've assured the President of our resources, not just money in terms of investments, but time, people. We have signed recently an agreement where we have a farmer-to-farmer approach. So we bring our Dutch member farmers across to Nigeria to actually train and bring some transfer of best practice into Nigeria. And there are many other initiatives in the area of crossbreeding, in the area of animal feed, etc., that we are working with various partners to bring our 145 years of global dairy expertise into Nigeria.
The Minister of Agriculture, Chief Audu Ogbe, said herdsmen in Nigeria will soon be organized into ranches with special grasses and water for better yield, as well as provided special flasks that can preserve raw milk for up to 6 hours. Rated as one of the top 5 dairy companies in the world, Friesland Campina, with operating offices in 28 countries, makes an annual revenue of over 11 billion euros. The company, which began its business in Nigeria in 1973, last year announced an annual turnover of 120.7 billion naira. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.